Children, gather round, gather out. It's time for the early morning boxing talks. It's time. It's time to divulge, discuss, and discern the early morning boxing talks. We'll let the list populate. You had a very spirited late night boxing talks last night. Very entertaining. A very emotionally invested boxing fan that goes by the name of Zaniel is very much invested in the career of one Errol Spence Jr., who here today I don't believe he is what he used to be. Lots of comedic value in that live. I suggest that all of you watch it. Sawab was good. Johnny was good. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of fun yesterday. And right now, just waiting out the heavyweight situation, because the situation at heavyweight, it appears to be frozen. You know, those guys up there, Christopher McKenna tweeted, no real progress on Fury, Usyk, Joshua, and White situation today, which was yesterday. As things stand, purse bids for Fury versus White will go ahead on Wednesday. Talks continue on all outcomes. And what we're hearing this morning is that the purse bid may get delayed yet again. If the purse bid is being delayed this much, it is the WBC's fault. Make no mistake, because the WBC has the power, the enforceable power, to say, fuck the bullshit, we're doing a purse bid, get your bids ready, because we can't keep this belt frozen in this situation between you guys. Something has to happen. The reason things are happening the way that they are happening is because the WBC is enabling them. They're enabling it, essentially. Now, I wanted to show you guys this. This is the X-Shot. This is not a Nerf gun, but it is a Nerf light gun. This X-Shot is better than most Nerf guns you'll buy. And I'm not even kidding. This is just way better than your average Nerf gun. It's accurate. It's fast, user-friendly. Get it for your kids. When they misbehave, pop them one. You know what I mean? Now, this is a Nerf gun. This is a Nerf Elite. I'm not going to lie. This is a great Nerf gun. This is a great Nerf gun. I just had to say that because those were my latest purchases. Better still, the WBC is enabling everything that we're seeing. If there hasn't been a purse bid, if it gets delayed for a fourth time, it'll be because of the WBC's inaction. Neither team have the power individually to hold things up this way. And furthermore, if the WBC really wanted to keep their belt in rotation, they'd put their foot down and say, look, you guys have had ample time to reach a deal. You have. We're not going to delay this thing for a fourth time so that you can hash it out. You've had time to hash it out. At this point, what we want is the belt in circulation, and we want to fight. So we're going to let it go to a purse bid, and it is what it is. And that would force things to happen. That would force Dillian White to either accept the 80-20 split or walk away, or that would force Tyson Fury to fight Dillian White or vacate. But either way, things would be moving along, because what's happening right now is the heavyweight division is literally frozen, and every alphabet title within it is frozen, locked into this situation between Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, and Alexander Usyk. All of this, he might step aside, he might not step aside. I see a lot of different people that feel different ways about the potential of Anthony Joshua stepping aside, and I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel to get some of you guys' thoughts on this. And I can only maintain my original position that if Anthony Joshua decided to step aside, I personally would not hold it against him, because that's what I wanted Wilder to do when the arbitration was going on. I wanted him to stand down, step aside, so that we get undisputed. If Anthony Joshua ended up giving us that like, you know what, I'm going to waive my right to a rematch. I'm going to stand down and step aside. No, I wouldn't hold it against him. I know that some of you out there might, but I'm just telling you what my rationale is, that if we get the undisputed fight as a result of that, well, that's the silver lining
and that is the consideration that we didn't get from Deontay Wilder. We didn't get that consideration. He wanted his third fight so he could get the fuck beaten out of him again. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? This is nonsense now. BC, yeah, I agree. If it's going on, Alicia Baumgartner woke me up like this. She's my hey, everybody likes Alicia, man. She's a wonderful fighter, great looking gal. She's young, she's strong, she's got it all. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. Look forward to seeing her in action very soon. I know she's got a fight coming up. Shout out to Alicia, Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields. They're going back and forth on Twitter as we speak. I don't think much of the back and forth anymore because they're both under the same banner. They're both fighting on the same platform. So at this point, it's just buildup. Whatever you're seeing, whatever you're reading, it's just buildup. It's not even a question of will they fight so much as when will they fight, because there's no obstacles to overcome anymore. There's no hurdles. God willing, there are no hurdles. So whatever you see, if you want to pick a side, pick a side. You want to make a prediction, you want to make a pick, go ahead, because at this point, it's all build up for the fight later on this year. There is a question as to whether or not that fight is on the scale of Taylor versus Serrano, and I would say no. I don't think that Shields versus Marshall is the biggest fight in women's boxing. I think right now the biggest fight in women's boxing is Taylor versus Serrano. Right now, that's the biggest fight. But I'll tell you, and shout out to Alicia Baumgartner, who I just mentioned, I wholeheartedly believe that Baumgartner versus Mayer could be a bigger fight than both of those fights. I firmly believe that. With the right promotion, that could be a bigger fight than both of those fights. Because the beef is real. It's not just a professional rivalry. There's beef there, that they really don't like each other. And people have very quickly taken a liking to Alicia Baumgartner for obvious reasons. She has a fan-friendly style, a very nice aesthetic, easy fighter to like, very well-spoken. She's not just a set of hands. She knows how to present herself. And the same is true with Michaela. I'm not as big on Michaela as I am Alicia. I have to admit that. But Michaela's also very well-spoken, very capable fighter, put on a very exciting fight in her last fight. And you have two of these kinds of fighters that can talk their shit and back it up. I firmly believe that because they are the way that they are, Baumgartner versus Mayer has the potential to be bigger than Taylor versus Serrano. Because with Taylor versus Serrano, y'all know I love Katie. But Katie, humble pie is humble pie. Like she just, I love everything and I want to fight Amanda Serrano. And she's a great fighter in women's boxing. And it's just, like that's how she is. And I respect it. You got to be who you are. If that's who she is, that's who she is. She's very humble. So you're not going to get the trash talk and the vitriol that really douses the oil on the flame to like to set the shit on fire. You're not going to get that. Not from Katie. She's not going to talk a lot of shit. I respect it. If that's how she is, that's how she is. But with Michaela can't stop talking shit. Michaela can't stop talking shit. And I like it. I respect it. In turn, Alicia not going to let nobody talk shit to her. So it's beautiful. The whole thing, it's a beautiful rivalry. It has the potential, in my opinion, to be a bigger fight than Taylor versus Serrano. And I firmly believe that. The more that Matchroom gets Alicia Baumgartner out there and showcases her skills, showcases her ability and her marketability, the more they do this, the more the profile of the fight grows. In turn, Michaela Mayer has proven that she's not just a pretty face and a nice set of legs. She's not just a pure boxer. She's not just a lot of things. She is a very dynamic fighter. For her to fight the fight that she fought against Maiva Hamadouche, that's really saying that, look, yeah, she can box. We know that. But she's also made out of some real tough stuff. She's a real durable fighter because you have to be to fight somebody like that. You have to be. So it's a very special fight. I love it. I'm looking forward to it. We're not close to that fight, by the way. That fight is not next or even after next. I anticipate we don't get that fight this year. I anticipate that we probably don't get that fight until maybe spring of next year. That's what I anticipate. But still, it's a beautiful thing to see everybody getting this money and doing a thing. And now, we get to see Alicia box on a major platform. I said it on Twitter that that's one of the things that I'm thankful for. Now I don't have to search for her fights. I know where I can find them on the zone. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful year. Drew, shout out to Drew. Ready to talk that utter shite. I'm going to talk that shite. Go, Danny Ranger. That's right, yo. Had a lot of fun with that shit last night, bro. I had a lot of fun with that shit, country, because that dude was just all in his feelings, B. He was all in his feelings. Like, bro, man, you got to have ice water running through your veins these days, man. Don't let people make you emotional. Control yourself. If you cannot control your own emotions, I don't know. Hey, what's goody, E-Son? What's goody, Christopher Jermaine, Ronald? Emma Willis says, Alicia is fighting her mandatory next. She needs to be on the Chocolatito card. Yeah, she's likely going to be fighting LM Khaled, her mandatory challenger. A good fight. For those of you that are not familiar with LM, she's actually a very capable boxer, not exactly the biggest puncher, but she is a very good fighter. She is unbeaten. She is from France, and I've seen her. I've seen a lot of her over the years. She's a very good fighter. She's coming off a first-round knockout, I believe it was last year, so she has fought in the last 12 months. Her versus Alicia, good fight. Credible scalp for Alicia, but if you've seen Alicia, you know that she can do more than box. She's not just a good boxer. She's physically strong. She's very athletic. You know what I mean? Like, it's more than just the ability to box. Like, there's, like, for example, Anthony Yiggett is a guy who can really box. Like, he's a good boxer. But physically, he's not all that gifted. He doesn't have a big punch. He doesn't have the fastest hands or the best athleticism or the best reflexes. But can the man box? Yes, the man can box. Now, Alicia can box, right? But it's not just that she can box. She's got physical gifts. She's very athletic. She's very strong, very quick. So it's a beautiful thing. Sandy Ryan versus Erika Farias. Yeah, that's my understanding, Joe. I tried to hint at it without letting the cat out of the bag. I already know that she's fighting Farias. Sources. And I'm okay with the fight because Sandy only has 3 professional fights. Most other fighters are not fighting someone like Erika Farias in their 3rd professional fight. Most fighters aren't fighting a former champion, somebody as experienced as Erika. I know that Erika is coming off of consecutive losses. I know she's coming off the losses to McCaskill, and she's coming off the loss to Michaela Mayer. And I don't think she's had a fight since then. I understand that. But it's still a great scalp for Sandy because Sandy only has 3 fights. She debuted as a professional, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. That's when she debuted. So for her to be fighting someone like Erika Farias, it's like, yo, they really believe in her. Shout out to Clifton Mitchell. Shout out to Sandy Ryan. Gang, gang. Get that money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at y'all. Beat the shit out them broads, man. Do what you got to do. My God, Julius, can AJ do anything different with Usyk the second time? He has to gamble. And I know that that's a very generic answer, Danny, but he has to gamble. He has to be willing to gamble. You have to go in there with the intention of knocking this man out. You do, though. I know that sometimes that can be counterintuitive, but when you've already been there with him and you tried the methodical approach, jabbing your way in to capitalize on openings or try to create openings, when that didn't work, when the cerebral approach didn't work, the only other approach is the physical approach, the rough and tumble approach, which we talked about the other day, that I think, yo, look, if you got to get dirty with him, get dirty with him. Punch him in the dick. Put your elbow on his neck. Wrestle with him. Throw him on the ground. Let him know who you are. You a fucking heavyweight. You know what I mean? If that's what you got to do to kind of throw him off, do that. Let him feel that power. Because the longer the fight goes on, the more it favors him. He has the better gas tank. So you have to do something that causes him to have kinks in his armor. Because if you sit there jabbing with him, if you fence with him, the battle of the jabs, he's not gonna give you the openings that you need. One, because he has a better jab than you do, feints better than you do, but also he's a southpaw. Everything is in reverse. He couldn't miss you with the straight left hand. He couldn't miss you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it's a lot of beautiful things. But right now, the heavyweight division is frozen, unfortunately. We're not getting Hrgovic versus Yoka. We don't know when we're going to get Yoka versus Bacol. We don't even know if we're going to get Fury versus White. We don't know if Anthony Joshua is going to step aside. We don't know when Wilder's supposed. We don't know nothing right now. And that's why things seem kind of stagnant. That's why the news is kind of slowing up, because there's all these situations that we're all still waiting on. There's so much that we don't know right now. When is Joe Joyce fighting? When is he fighting? He got injured. Okay, when can we expect him to come back? When can we expect the IBF to make a decision about Filip Hrgovic? What about that? I think that it's farcical what they're doing, because I think they've done it 2 times already, to where they go down the ranks and try to find him someone to fight. And it's like, yo, dog, y'all done did that already. At this point, just make him mandatory. Just make him the mandatory, because these guys don't want to fight him. The one guy that did want to fight him, Martin Bacol, fucked all that up. So now Tony Yoka got to fuck him up. You know what I mean? What's going on? All right, hold up. About to check the DMs. Check the DMs. All right, I'm going to read you guys a delicious article.
Tyson Fury.
Fucking, all right, I accept.
Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte pass bids hours away if Anthony Joshua refuses to step aside. Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte are just a matter of hours away from pass bids for their fight, with Anthony Joshua still mulling over an offer to step aside and let Fury face Alexander Usyk instead. Bids at 6 p.m. today unless Anthony Joshua agrees to step aside from his Alexander Usyk rematch. The clock is ticking on the chances of the WBA heavyweight champion Fury facing WBA, IBF, and WBO.
See, this is the bitch shit. You call Tyson Fury the champion, you call Usyk a title holder, even though Usyk is in possession of more titles than Fury. Who wrote this? Chris McKenna. Chris, do better, bro. Do better. If you can sit there and call Tyson Fury a champion, you can call Usyk a champion. Cut the shit. Let's just cut the shit. Because I know if Fury beat Joshua, you would look at his victory over Joshua very differently than you're looking at Usyk's victory over Joshua. It's not less than beating Wilder. It's more, because Usyk is not a heavyweight. Or at least he wasn't.
He's also not fully agreed with the financial terms of the offer, which in the region of £15 million to walk away from the bout. Joshua would be guaranteed the winner of Fury against Usyk within a set time period as part of the contract or step aside.
There are several issues with this. Several issues. For starters, if the fight were to end in a draw, does he still get the winner? Does he? And even if a winner emerges, if there is no draw, what about Dillian Whyte? What about Filip Hrgovic? What about what other mandatory challengers are out there? Because Anthony Joshua agreeing to a step-aside deal does not empower him the way a mandatory is empowered. If you agree to a step-aside deal, right, Dillian Whyte's going to want his title shot. Filip Hrgovic might want his title shot. Joe Joyce might want his title shot, and they have a right to it. You technically don't. What you'd have is an agreement and a contract. So they'd have to vacate one of those titles, potentially, give them to one of those guys just to satisfy their agreement with you. I don't think he should step aside. I don't think he should. If he did, I know that there are many of you out there that aren't going to like that, and that's why we're going to open up this chat to the panel. And I agree. I agree with John Dealey, the very strong, the very powerful, the very capable John Dealey. Have you guys seen this guy? He's a fucking Adonis, this guy. Guy's in the best shape of his life. I agree with John. If Fury fights Usyk and wins, you think he's going to stick around? No, he's going to fucking retire. He might retire. Or he might fight Francis Ngannou. For fighting Joshua for a big payday, right? For fighting Joshua for a big payday, bro, I could fight Francis Ngannou. Yeah, that's real journalism, Jay. That's real journalism. That's what passes for journalism these days. Seriously, bro, I'm still catching up with last night's boxing Tawks. Yeah, man.
What's good, Ring?
I was goody, was goody.
What's goody? What's goody?
Go, Danny
Morning, everybody.
Ranger. Go, Earl Rangers.
Yeah, that
go,
shit.
PBC Rangers.
That fucking look, because that shit was stupid, right? Like, first, nobody say nothing. The dude come on, and I'm not saying it to be funny. Nothing I said was an opinion. Everything I said was a quantifiable fact that you can look up yourself to question its validity and see if it checks out. Everything I said was a quantifiable fact. And his rebuttal, oh, Errol has speed and power, and he hits fast, and he hits hard. And like, what? What? Anyway, gentlemen,
How you doing this morning? How y'all doing this morning?
What's about to happen?
What's happening?
What I think is about to happen, I think Joshua's not going to take that step aside money, and we're going to purse bid. So Dillian might have to bite the bullet and take 20% and get in that ring and catch wreck, like Black Moon said.
All right, so Wab, what's about to happen?
Man, if AJ takes the step aside, which I know he won't, man, I'll go for his ass. I'll tear him apart. But you know what I mean? I love AJ, I support him, but if he takes a step aside, I won't be happy. He's just letting the next man do his job for him, even though I think Usyk beat him up and took his belts. Now that's it. Go Tyson Fury, go kill him. Go get the belts back and then I'll fight you from this speed. Nah, bro. That's not AJ. That's not gonna happen.
So wait, hold on. I gotta go around the board. So let me see if I understand, Sawab. You're saying that the reason that you would not support him stepping aside is because, in your view, he's allowing someone else to take care of his unfinished
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
He wants other people to do his shit for him. Nah, but it doesn't work that way. You gotta go get it yourself.
Okay. Jay, what's your take on it? How do you feel if he steps aside? Are you for it, against it, indifferent? How do you feel?
I'm indifferent because I don't want him to. It's because of what he said before. He said he needs to live up to his word. He's gonna batter Usyk and get his belts back. So I want him to be a man of his word and take that rematch. So I'm hoping he doesn't. Don't think he will. But if he does, I'm indifferent towards it. If that I'm with you, Jules. If that leads to us getting undisputed, I'm all for it.
Okay.
And also with Dylan White, there's gonna be some more shenanigans. I can feel it in my soul, man.
Before I pass it to Drew, Anthony Joshua not taking the step aside deal, I just want to preface everything so that we all understand each other. Just because AJ doesn't take a step aside deal, if he doesn't, that doesn't guarantee we get Fury versus White. I think it needs to be said that even if every other resource and every other hindrance, if every resource is exhausted and every hindrance is removed, I'm still not confident we get that fight. Drew, what's about to happen, and how would you feel if Anthony Joshua stepped aside? How would you feel?
So first thing I'll answer is that AJ, fellas, we can't be hypocrites and say we want the best and undisputed and criticize Wilder and then for when AJ was trying to get undisputed and step aside for Fury, and if AJ decides to do that. That's for the betterment of the sport, and that'll give some clarity to the division and to the overall sport if there's an undisputed heavyweight champion. So I can't criticize AJ. Let me finish my points first. So we want AJ to do that because we want, above all, we want undisputed, which provides clarity for the division.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my retort to that. Anthony Joshua did the legwork. Anthony Joshua fought the fighters to get unified. So in that respect, Anthony Joshua, if he takes that step aside money, would be giving opportunities to someone who didn't do the legwork, who didn't fight the fights that he fought to get undisputed. I understand we want clarity, and that's true. It will be very hypocritical for us to say not for Anthony Joshua not to take the step aside money, but understand this: Joshua fought Parker, Joshua fought Klitschko, Joshua fought the top contenders when everyone else wasn't going to do that at all.
I
So
understand
with
that. I understand that. I understand that.
Hold on,
But
before you
but
have a
no.
debate. Hold on, wait. Before you have a debate about it, Spade hasn't had the chance to go.
Okay.
Spade, if he steps aside, if he takes the bread and steps aside, how you gonna feel about that?
Let me explain why I'm with him for stepping aside, right? Who fought the division the most ever since they had a belt?
Your mic went in and out, bro. Your audio went in and out.
Julius, until his audio is getting fixed, I would like to add to it.
Y'all can hear me now?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. AJ's been trying to unify the division the best. He's been trying to unify the division, right? And outside, it hasn't been him that's been stopping it. He's been trying to. At first it was Wilder, and now we can kind of say it's kind of Fury, right? So at this point, I think at this point it should be up to Fury to try to unify. So if I'm AJ, I'll take the money. I'll take the money and unify later. So yeah, take the step aside money.
All right. So you with him taking a step aside money, you wouldn't hold it against him.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now,
Can
Drew.
I get back in there real quick?
All right. Now, hold on. Now, Drew and Chris, they gotta go over their points because it sounds like Drew's not against them taking a step aside, but Chris is.
Chris, you said that it would be hypocritical of all of us, and that's where I draw the line. Like, I don't know about y'all. I don't like being a hypocrite at all.
Me neither.
That's against my core nature, and I have to hold the same criticism I give PBC. I have to give Bob Arum and Frank Warren and Tyson Fury for holding up this Dillian White stuff because that's what they're doing. So they're not absolved from criticism. But AJ, if he takes a step aside or he doesn't, he doesn't deserve criticism.
To be honest, we all get your point. I get your point. I know AJ is the one. Even if he steps aside for the belt of boxing and for the heavyweight division, still people are not going to give him that respect. People are going to look at it as if like he ducked Usyk just so I think Fury can beat Usyk, and them two can go have an undisputed fight. People will not.
That's a junior.
AJ.
That's a junior point, but also this is another point that some people may not think of. Hey, if Anthony Joshua takes that step aside money and Fury ends up becoming undisputed, now Anthony Joshua is going to be at the whim of Fury. You have to understand, Anthony Joshua commands a lot of money. So him being the B side to all of that, he's not going to get the same amount of money that he would get as him being the A side in what he's been. Because if you look at it, outside of Canelo, Anthony Joshua's been blockbuster. He's been the guy who's been commanding the amount of purses that everyone would dream of in boxing. So ultimately, him taking away taking that step aside money. It's like it's pocket change for him because at the end of the day, it affects his brand because you have to understand this. Anthony Joshua hasn't really been getting the respect and the credit since he really became a champion because you have to understand this. Anthony Joshua, the women like him and the men envy him. And hear me out here. That's the reason why he doesn't get the respect because if you look at it, resume for resume, Anthony Joshua for Dillian White on his way up. A lot of people won't even fight Dillian White as a contender now. So with all that being said, people don't like Anthony Joshua already. So with that 15 million, that kind of, ruins his legacy even more. And understand, we want clarity. I want clarity too, but it's more than, just taking money. He loses
let me get in on this. Now, nobody say nothing. This is the thing. Now, this is why I don't think he should step aside. I'm not against him stepping. Well, I won't hold it against him because that would make me a hypocrite, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. But the reason I don't think he should step aside, to Chris's point, $15 million is nothing. You got more than that fighting Povetkin. You got like $20 million to fight Povetkin. You know what I mean? Like you get more than that. That 15 million is nothing. If you take the step aside, you create an environment where you may or may not get the fight. You also sacrifice all the leverage you had. You take the step aside. Let's say Fury wins. You think he's not going to 60-40 you or 70-30 you and fuck it all up? He will. He will. Look at what he's offering Dillian. And this is, to me, this is a goddamn joke because I know that man sells, bro. I'm not telling you he's Julio Iglesias, but he sold out the O2. All right. What other UK fighter could have fought Joseph Parker and sold out the O2 besides Anthony Joshua? What other UK fighter? All right.
Julius.
Fury versus hold on. Fury versus Hellenius. Fury versus Shaw. Fury versus anybody not named Joshua, Usyk, or White. He don't sell. He don't sell.
Having said all that, I agree with everybody. I think one point we're missing with AJ considering the step aside is it gives him an opportunity to take a tune-up fight with a new trainer. And I think that's what he's mulling over of getting his psyche right. There's a lot more moving parts than just the money. And I think that's what he's considering.
Well, I know. Hold on, wait. Before I pass it to Country, let me say this, right? This is a make or break situation. This is not the time to play it safe. This is the time where you've seen the first fight, if you're AJ. This is a time where you've seen the first fight several times already. You've replayed it in your mind. And if you're going to win, what you want more than anything is to get him back in the ring. Because this time, I'm not jabbing with you, bro. I'm coming to take your head off. Period. If you're there, then I guarantee you he wins. If he's there. But if he's doubtful, if he's hesitant, if you need to worry about, well, I got a new trainer. Listen, Tyson Fury had a new trainer ahead of the Wilder rematch. You know, he did get to have 2 tune-up fights. I will say that. And I guess that kind of feeds your point. But I feel like, yo, dog, this is one of those moments where you got to show that you a fucking animal. Because if you don't fight him straight away, you're not an animal. Maybe you were, but you're not anymore. Sergey Kovalev, he got a new trainer ahead of the Eleider Alvarez rematch. No tune-up fight in between. If you're going to do it, you need to do it now. Because if you take the step-aside money, you give up all the leverage you had to the winner of that fight. And you may not even get that fight. Go ahead, Country.
Well, I think AJ's one. He's got an uphill battle. I mean, is he really going to do anything different than he did the first time? Because he didn't do very much in the first fight. So, I mean, he's got a problem right there off the bat. From a business standpoint, yeah, the money kind of makes sense because you know what? You get like 20 mil, you can step aside as long as you're guaranteed the winner. But you're right. He loses the leverage. So, I mean, you know, AJ's kind of in that rock and a hard place, you know, and he's got to go back and beat Usyk if he wants to be where he was at. Otherwise, he's done it with that. And,
I can't speak to his psyche, but I know that he's only between a rock and a hard place if he's hesitant. If he wants to fight, nothing gets in between me and Usyk. Nothing. No money. I don't care what Fury wants. I don't care what the fans want. I want Usyk. Period.
But
That's if he's.
By the way, Jules,
What does your gut tell you, Jules, in terms of his where AJ's at?
I think he's I believe that he's actually considering. If my honest opinion, my instinct says he's considering stepping aside for the aforementioned reasons to break in a new trainer. But if you do that, if you put distance between yourself and that fight, you empower Usyk. What? I got to take my time with this little fucker. I have to think and I have to be no. I want his head on a platter. And if you're there, it actually happens. If I want his head on a platter, if you decide to step aside, you don't win that rematch. If you even get to have it, you don't win. No.
Jules, could I add something? Like you guys also want to know why I want to see the rematch? It's because like I just want to, just as a genuine fan, I just want to see if Joshua could beat this guy. He's physically bigger. He punches harder. He's tall. He can do it. I believe he can.
I believe he can do it.
He can knock this guy.
Yeah,
out.
I look at it like this: if Morris Breedis can give homeboy that hard of a test, and Julius was right. Morris Breedis' limbs are a lot shorter, and he can get to this guy quicker. But if Morris Breedis can give him hell on earth, bro, yo, dog, you need to take this man's head off. Like, if I'm Anthony Joshua...
Wait. You gotta remember, Maris Breedis is a what?
Capricorn.
Cruiserweight.
No, he's a Capricorn. I'm not, yo. I'm just trying to let y'all know that's how the Capricorn. We want what we
Who else
want,
is a Capricorn?
period.
Who else is a Capricorn? Huh?
Me, I'm a Capricorn.
No, but who else is?
Felix Trinidad was a Capricorn. Sweet Pea was a Capricorn.
But
That's
he's
true,
not a
that's true.
Coco Danny
Hopkins,
Ranger.
Roy Jones.
But I
Sorry, I had to add that in, man. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be a running joke. Watch, we gonna keep doing that
AJ,
shit.
you missed it last night. You
I know.
I'm always gonna remember you. Remind you guys this: Robert Kelly. That's it. All
I
right?
mean, look,
He's a Capricorn.
look. Joseph Stalin was a Capricorn. There's bad apples. There's bad apples in every bunch.
Yeah, but like
But
I'm a Libra, but we have
what's that? Let me ask something else. Like, also, you know what I was really impressed because a good example that comes to mind is like Anthony Yard in the rematch with Lyndon Arthur. He took no prisoners.
Yep.
Yes.
He fucked that
Because
dude
that's
up.
because
He fucked
that's
that dude up.
look because that's the mindset. So to win the rematch, right? The rematch is not about jabs. It's not about feints. It's about sheer willpower. That's all it's about. That's literally what it boils down to. Sheer willpower.
Derek Cesar had sheer willpower. And what happened? I'm telling you this. You have to have a little bit of skill.
Derek. Listen, Derek Chisora. Hold on, wait. Derek Chisora didn't have sheer willpower. He's always that way. You cannot chalk that up to willpower when he always fights that way. That's not sheer willpower. Willpower defies logic. Like, bro, I don't care what he did in the rematch. He's lucky if I don't kick him in his fucking face when I get him back in that ring. He'll be lucky if I don't kick him in his fucking face. He'll be lucky if I don't hem him up and choke his ass out. That's willpower. That I want the rematch. I want to beat him. And I don't want to beat him on points. I want to knock him out.
I'm going to lay him the fuck out. Yeah.
I want to put
That's how you win the rematch.
I want his ass on the stretcher.
I don't know. I can't give Usyk that much credit. You know what I mean? I don't. Basically, if AJ fought the way we all think he should have fought, be the bigger man, be the aggressor. I think, like I think Julian says, elbow him, whatever, kick him, punch him in the nuts, whatever, bully him. Nah, he's there jabbing him, running around backwards.
You have to understand, Lennox Lewis. You have to understand, Sawab. Lennox Lewis was the bigger man against Oliver McCall and got laid the fuck out in 1994, bro. I'm telling you this. He was the bigger man, and what happened? He got caught with that one too.
Chris. That's because Manny trained
Usyk doesn't have that power to knock you out, though. He just tires you.
Did you not see the last round? Did you not see the last round? So Bob, this guy,
because AJ was tired. That's my point.
But see, this great. Hold on.
AJ was tired.
Look, y'all overthinking it. I'm thinking, look, Joshua in his own mind, forget me, forget y'all, forget everybody. In his own mind, fuck a boxing match. I'm here to fuck you up, bro. This ain't me versus Ruiz again. I'm gonna mess you up, bro. And if I don't mess you up, you better knock me out. You better. Because if you don't knock me out, I'm going to come after you, bro. Period.
He needs to be a tiger and attacking and getting his meat.
All of us have understanding of styles in boxing, right? And I understand boxers have an understanding of styles. Why would you go into a fight knowing boxing someone you know who's known for boxing? It's just asinine to go in thinking that. And especially in the fight, when you know you're losing rounds, it should pop up in your head like, you know what, fuck the boxing, I'm going all out.
I'm gonna quote a Rocky. I'm gonna quote a Rocky 3 line. AJ just became civilized, fellas.
Yeah,
he's a
became
civilized endorsed fighter.
He's not. He's not. You know what I think? I think
AJ will always get the AJ will always get our respect and honor because he's always laid it in the line. He's got the resume to do that. He's not wired like Canelo, like these guys where it's like, I know I might get fucking starched. Look at his whole approach to the first fight.
It's that, you know what the other thing with Canelo is? There's something unique about Canelo's situation that made everything easier afterwards. He fought the number 1 pound for pound fighter when he was 23 years old. He lost the fight. He got completely dominated. But after you've been through that, which is why I promote, have the fight. Fuck winning, fuck losing, fight. Fuck winning and fuck losing, just fight, right? Canelo fought the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world and got completely owned. But after that, he was able to distinguish the difference between Floyd, who he fought, and everyone else. You guys ain't Floyd. You're not Floyd. I could deal with you. I could deal because you're not Floyd, bro.
You're not special like that. So at the
You're
end
not
of the day,
special like that.
I
And I
can
have
come
to
out
add,
and now
fellas,
fuck you up.
I have to
Hey,
add,
Juice.
I'm at the point with Tyson Fury where I am with all the PBC guys. I can't wait till that fucking guy gets out the sport.
Me too.
Me too.
Because he's
Dude,
holding
but
up the
this is-
fucking sport. And Bob Arum and Frank Warren are just as guilty as Heyman with holding up the shit by co-signing Fury's bullshit.
I agree, especially Gareth Davies. This fucking.
He's a scumbag, man. But like, this is what I was gonna say.
He's a fucking Fury shill.
This
But
fucking
yo,
guy, bro.
Drew, I was gonna say, you can say he got civilized, and I agree with you on a certain point. But I'm just saying this: when it comes down to Usyk, this guy is a very, very good operator in the ring. So that guy tried his damnedest. Because think about it, you can run into that puzzle all if you want. Like, look at it. Canelo tried to put his youth and his size advantage on Floyd, and what happened? He got shoulder rolled and walked down. So at the end of the day, I can't just say that.
No. You got it twisted, bro. Canelo more or less made the same mistake that Joshua made. It doesn't look the same, but psychologically it is. If he's a better boxer than you are, right? You need to accept that preemptively. You need to know he is a better boxer than I am. So I'm not going to come in here looking to counter. I'm not going to come in here looking for openings. The old saying goes, fight the boxer, box the fighter. Those guys tried to box with the boxer. They did, both of them.
Got embarrassed.
And
And
to
got
add to that, to rebut
Jesus
what you're
Chop.
saying,
I was going to say this.
No, let me add this. Hold on. Let me add this. Castillo was not trying to fucking box Floyd. Maidana was not trying to box Floyd. Cotto was applying a lot of, because fuck a jab. Fuck all that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to press go and I'm going to go. And whatever happens after that happens. Gave him a much.
I was going to say this. Jesus Chavez, Marcos Maidana, Miguel Cotto, Jose Luis Castillo all gave Floyd a torrid time. All of them lost. So what does that tell you? At the end of the day, when you're dealing with guys who are that savvy and that well coordinated like that, they can figure you out. I can care less.
Usyk is not Mayweather.
No. See, let me say this. You could figure out a guy's strategy, right? Some things just are like a power puncher just is a power puncher. A fast guy is just a fast guy. And that's not strategy. Those are God-given gifts. So when you think about the physical element of okay, fuck jabbing with him, fuck looking for openings, fuck setting up a right hand. I'm gonna come out. I'm going to swing. Yeah, I'm going to set up my shots. I'm not going to throw bullshit. I'm not going to throw bullshit punches, but I'm going to go. That's it. I'm just going to go. That's not what Canelo did with Floyd. Nah. Castillo did that with Floyd. Maidana did that with Floyd.
Exactly.
Cotto did that with Floyd. Not Canelo. Canelo was really trying to sit there looking for opportunity because at that time, Canelo was more of a boxer puncher. Now he's fighting the kind of fight that you should have fought then. High guard, I'm coming forward. Throw your bullshit. I'm coming forward, bro. Throw your bullshit.
Exactly. It goes back to the Rocky 2. A lot of fighters will win a fight, but they won't beat the fighter. Like Floyd versus Castillo, Maidana, he won, but he didn't beat them the fuck up.
Nah.
He did.
Hey, fellas, I just want to say
back to what you were saying.
I gotta jump off, man.
All right.
Back to what you were saying, brother, about AJ being civilized. It goes to a point. We know fighters. There's moments where they can come to the realization like that motherfucker just got my number, bro. And you see the soul search in AJ. AJ didn't have to soul search after losing to Andy Ruiz at all.
Well, I wouldn't go. Look, I wouldn't go that far. See, the problem areas in the Ruiz fight were much easier to identify. It's a different fight now. You have a guy. In other words, when you lost to Ruiz, You didn't lose to Ruiz because he's better than you. You lost to Ruiz because you got lazy. You got greedy in the pocket. You put one too many punches together, and you got countered. That is very easy to identify. I think we all identified that immediately after the fight, that if he sticks to his jab, uses his height, uses his reach, moves around and boxes, Ruiz can't touch him because Ruiz has to get close to him to touch him. So long as you keep him on the outside, he ain't got the feet to keep up with you. Usyk is different. With Usyk, you have to admit he's a better boxer now than you've ever been, and he's a better boxer now, perhaps, than you're ever going to be. So if you're going to beat this guy, it ain't with boxing.
To add to that, Jules, AJ can go back to the Ruiz fight and see, I had success. I had this dude. I got lazy. There is no moment in that fight with Usyk where he could say, like, man, I fucked up. I had him. It was utter domination. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is leading to his soul searching, like you said, Jules. He's on a USO tour to find a trainer.
But
Not the USO, Drew. Not the USO.
Adding to the point, right? AJ coming in should have known that he wasn't the better boxer, right?
Mhm.
And great fighters will make adjustments within the fight. For example, I forgot the guy's name. Pernell Whitaker fought a Cuban guy who was outboxing him.
Desobledas Hurtado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pernell Whitaker was fighting him, and he was getting outboxed. What did Pernell do? He turned into a puncher of a sort, right? And it was another fight. It was another fight where Pernell was losing, and like he stopped boxing, just went all in, right? So great fighters will make adjustments. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua isn't good, but he showed me he wasn't great because in that fight,
That's a fact.
From round 5, we already knew that you're losing this fight. You're losing. He's Sugar Ray Leonard when he was fighting Tommy Hearns in the first.
You're blowing it, son. You're blowing it.
The first 5 rounds when Sugar Ray was getting outboxed by Tommy Hearns, right? What happened? Round 5, he turned it the fuck up because he realized he can't win the fight that way.
Hold on, let me read them. Hold on, wait. Let me read the super chat. Have been to 3 Joshua Stadium fights on his undisputed journey. If he steps aside, he is pissing on his fans. I will be done with him if he does. Now, I wanted to read this. Punch quote says, Usyk was hurt in the 6th and rode the rest of that round on the ropes. It was on AJ to go after him. This Usyk Superman stuff is a bit ridiculous, and this is why I wanted to address it. I didn't say he's Superman. I said I think Anthony Joshua can knock him out. But if you box with him, you're doing it to yourself. He's a better boxer than you are. I'm sorry if that offends you, but he is. He feints better. He moves better. Sets up his punches better. Disguises them better. He couldn't miss you with the straight left hand. He couldn't miss you. All right?
Julius,
So when I say,
100% agree with that guy.
when I say that he's a better boxer, don't box with him then. You know that in the pocket, it doesn't really matter who's an orthodox fighter and who's a southpaw in the pocket. So what do?
It's whoever lands first and gets out of the way. Yeah.
Crowd him. Forget about his southpaw jab and his southpaw. Forget about the angles. Forget about it. In the pocket, there are no angles. So you need to be there.
Exactly. We're not saying Usyk's unbeatable, but Usyk has more in his repertoire and is a more complete pugilist
Fighter
than AJ.
Yeah.
AJ only has one way to beat him now, and it's up to him to. The only way AJ can beat Usyk if he's willing to get knocked the fuck out.
Bingo.
That's it.
Don't be
point blank period.
And it's not. I'm gonna come in here anticipating to get knocked out. I'm gonna go, and I don't care if you can knock, because I'm gonna knock you out. I ain't worried about you knocking me out.
Wait,
I'm gonna knock
the
you
mentality
out.
gotta be this: if I die, I die, but you gonna die first.
I don't know about all that, but
no, it gotta be like that.
It has to be a level. It has to be a level of some.
Let me make this
It has to
point.
be a level. Go ahead.
Somebody earlier said that when other guys came in fighting against Floyd, coming straight at him, not trying to box with him, he still beat them. Yes, you're right. However, they had a better chance. At least give yourself a better chance to win.
Because that's splitting hairs. If I literally said, right, these guys didn't come in there boxing Floyd, and they gave him a harder fight than Canelo, I've already, made that point for whoever has said that. They're like, it's not just winning. It's like, yo, dog, styles make fights. fight the boxer, box the fighter. That's literally how it's supposed to go. If the dude want to box, now fuck what you want to do. I want to fight. If the dude want to fight, now fuck what you want to do. I want to box. That's how you supposed to play it. AJ tried to beat Usyk at his own game, and we saw how it looked. It looked bad. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
Did he paid for it?
I have a question for the panel and Jules. Jules, where I think this step aside shit is bullshit. So you mean to tell me Top Rank and Frank Warren got $20 million to give AJ to step aside?
Not if it's coming from not if it's coming from the Saudis or the people in Dubai.
Okay.
Not if it's coming from them.
If it's coming from them, and as we've been proven, Eddie Hearn's the only one that's been able to get Saudi money into boxing.
Well, look, I mean, all things being fair, if somebody and those guys in the Middle East, Americans really underestimate how much cash is over there. There's a lot of cash over there. 15
it's
million.
stupid, bro. It makes no sense.
Billions. There's billions over there.
Why didn't they have the money? Well, hold on. Why didn't what's it called?
Because nobody gives nobody gives a fuck about Wilder. If you're Bob, look, let me put it to you this way. So Bob said that I'm not giving that dude shit, right? Now he said I'd rather just let Fury. This is what he said. He said I'd rather just let Fury go in there and fuck him up again. And time has proven Bob wise. Why though? If I'd have gave Wilder 15 or 20, that's 15 or 20 I don't get back. Now what I'm gonna give him that for when I know my guy can beat this dude 7 ways from Sunday? And that's exactly what he did. Why do that so that he could have to fight him again? Remember what the situation is. If you pay him to step aside, you have to guarantee him the winner. So you're going to pay him twice. Why do that when you can let your man go in there and fuck him up again? All right.
I know Jules will understand where I'm coming from. A lot of this too is high level posturing for the long term. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren don't want Eddie Hearn to consolidate heavyweight at all. Because then Big Baby and all routes are through Matchroom and Hearn
and they're all Matchroom. They're all Matchroom shows after
Usyk.
that.
He'll have options with AJ.
That's a very good point.
They gotta run to Eddie to get any shot at the strap.
Listen,
always be a Matchroom fight. It'll always be a DAZN fight.
Listen. That's like, just imagine an environment where, let's say, Anthony Joshua won all the belts. Every single heavyweight out there is going to be funneled to Matchroom. Top Rank's heavyweights, PBC's heavyweights, everybody's heavy. Like, you all got to come see us. These are all Matchroom shows. Why? Because we have all the belts. You don't have a choice. You can't beat us in a bidding war. Your fighters don't have the same marquee value that our fighter has. For whatever reason, and I suspect this, the WBC doesn't want that for whatever reason. I don't know if I suspect there's more going on there than boxing. There is. It could fuck some. I get the sense this could fuck something up for somebody that isn't necessarily boxing. And that's kind of the sense I'm getting. They don't want that. They don't want Matchroom to have hegemonical control of all the belts at heavyweight. They don't want that.
Hegemonical? Did you just say this, man?
Say that word again for the peasants, Jules. Say that
hegemonical, full hegemonical control of the heavyweight division. Could you imagine? You think Bob wants to send Jared Anderson and the Italian kid Torres?
Because they won't get them back. They won't get them back because Matchroom would treat them really well, put them in the fights that they really need. And trust me, the English love their fighters and they're very knowledgeable and they're not on the type of time Americans are.
It's not just that. Like, you can have a one-off situation. Like, look, Marcus Brown just fought on an Yvonne Michelle show / Top Rank show in Canada. But they don't want that fucking guy. They don't want, like, the fuck do we need with Marcus Brown? The problem is we can't, it's not our setup. It's not our show. We can't fuck with nothing to give ourselves a better than a fighting chance. We can't do nothing. It's a Matchroom show.
It's like, when they sent Felix Diaz to fight Terrence Crawford and almost got killed. Poor Diaz.
Eddie Hearn has the vision, fellas. He wants to win that purse bid, and he wants to have a joint presser to promote Undisputed. I'm going to promote Fury White. I'm going to promote AJ Usyk, and the winners are going to face off. It's going to be a global spectacle. Eddie Hearn has that vision for these fights in that division, and Bob Arum and Warren they're envious of that, and you can see it a mile away. Can you imagine a joint presser with all four of those fighters and Eddie promoting that they're going to face off? and that we're gonna really have undisputed on a world stage.
Oh, so I'm gonna do an episode of the relay on this. Mixayo's promoter Sean Gibbons says Gary Russell absolutely deserves a rematch. God no, please.
Oh shit.
God no. I don't want that. Look, man, I want that dude to take a year off, bro. That's what you've been doing, right? Don't come back, bro.
Jules, you know what I want? You know what I want? Feed Gary to Chris Colbert, please. Do that. You know?
Yeah, if anything, feed him to Chris Colbert. It's about time Gary moved up in weight. How long you been a featherweight? Move up, bro.
All his career, bro. But on the real though, I think he should take a year off and fix the injuries that he's had, because he had this injury for 14
He's
years.
Errol Spence of 126.
No, he's not. Errol Spence is not as dedicated as him. I'm a Gary Russell fan, so if I sound a little more leaning on Gary Russell, I'm just going to tell him my bias.
Stick to one fight.
I got a question for Chris. I got a question for Chris. Chris, you think Gary won the fight? You think Gary won the fight?
Nope.
Okay, good.
It's close though, but he did. I can be objective. I'm not a dick rider. You know that.
No, I'm gonna say this. Look. This is what I'm gonna say. Right, and I like that. You could call me biased against Gary for this, but a fighter, a champion like Gary, boxing don't need that. Period. Nah, we don't need you to get a belt. We don't need you to fight. We don't. Because you had opportunities to bring attention to this division. How big would it have been if Gary took the Eddie Hearn offer? He goes over there and he Mauricio Lara's Josh Warrington, except when he does it, it's for the belts. You had that chance. You fucking blew it.
I think Al Heyman probably would have stopped it too.
We already had that conversation. We over that. We over that. Like, it's done. But the shit is, I'm telling you why I don't want this dude. Like, I don't want this dude around at all. No, you bad for boxing. You and Leo are bad for boxing. I want Mark the body, motherfucking, like, man, get Leo out of boxing.
I want Mark to put him to sleep.
Let's say Gary gets a rematch, right? And he gets the belt back. Well, we're right back to where we started once again.
Yes,
square one. He's not going to defend that belt. He's going to hold it hostage.
And Sean
fight once or twice a year.
Sean Gibbons.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, guys, but real talk, I honestly believe Gary really wanted to fight. But when you go after your benefactors and you start, going after the hierarchy, making people feel uncomfortable, talking shit, saying that, yo, these guys is not men and everything, that's what's going to happen to you. Because I honestly do believe Gary Russell did not want to fight more than one time a year. So at the end of the day, he did it to himself, but I think in his heart of hearts, he wants to fight because Gary's a damn good fighter. We can say whatever we want about him. He's a damn good fighter.
And I'm gonna disagree because damn good fighters fight more often than Gary. If you're damn good, you ain't just good. You damn good, you'd have been fighting more often. Damn good fighters fight often.
That's true.
Like I said last night,
Gary Russell,
there's no point of having a Ferrari in the garage.
Thank you, Sawab.
Gary Russell,
and that's if he listen. That's if he's a Ferrari. Why do I say he's not a Ferrari? Because if you was a Ferrari, you'd have got out there more than once. You not no Ferrari. You a Ford. You a Ford Probe. You good. Like you.
No, you know what?
Gary Russell is a poor man.
He's a Mini Cooper. That's what
he is.
But
he is. The question I gotta ask is he really in control of whether he can fight more often in a year? Because a lot of PBC fighters say a lot of shit talking about I'm my own boss, I'm this, I'm that, and they make illogical decisions like turning down big purses with other networks. Do you really think he was in control of whether he fights?
All right, this is what let me say this. Let me say this, Spade, right? Gary is a grown man. He's not a fully grown man, but he's a man. He's a man. He's of age. Right now, Gary out of his own Gary out of his own mouth. See, this is why I will not entertain or make excuses for or attempt to understand. No, Gary on camera said why he doesn't want to fight more often. He gave two different answers and two different reasons both times. A little over a year ago, it's because, he really didn't want to. A year later, it's because nobody will fight me. Bullshit. But that's what you said, right? You said that. So I don't need to explain shit for you. You're a grown man. All right. If you wanted to fight more, if you wanted to fight more, and I said this last night, Danny saw opportunity. Danny Jacobs of Brooklyn. He saw opportunity. Yo, I'm out of here, B. I'm going to Matchroom. He made a lot of money in doing so because he didn't just make money from the Golovkin fight that he had. He rode that wave off of PBC Island. He got the Canelo fight. Jamal.
I don't know why they don't do that, bro. Because
hold on, bro. Hold on. Now Jamal bitch ass is still waiting for that Canelo fight. Danny done had that already, bro. He got that check already. You still waiting for that shit. You still waiting for a Golovkin fight. You fucking bozo. You know what I mean?
Got 15 million to fight Canelo.
Yeah, I mean,
damn.
Like, Better Beef wanted to fight, right? Better Beef said he wanted to fight. He was unhappy with his contract with Yvonne Michelle back when he was with the PBC, and he got away from that situation. So when I see Gary's activity level, right? No, you are to blame for that. Fuck whatever. You are to. If you wanted better, you would have better. Because you said, if Al don't give you Leo 2019, you said if Al don't give you Leo, you're gonna go to Top Rank and you're gonna fight Miguel Burchell. Did you do that?
No, he did not.
Gary is like Mikey Garcia. This boxing is the only thing they can do to make a lot of money, and they don't love it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That's a fact.
Gary said he stays in the gym. Did you guys see his thighs and calves during that fight? That looked like somebody that hadn't been working out.
Bro, it looked like they caught him in his apartment. Like, yo, you want to fight? Yeah, yo. All right, come down.
Then he got out the Barney rubber trunks and all that in the whole.
Like trunks was nasty. What the fuck was he on, bro? Like I love you, Gary, but come on, B.
Listen, him and Leo need to go. Like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck you are. They say you look, and I might offend some people with this shit. They say he from Mexico. I don't think so. I think he's from Ecuador. I don't believe he is. I don't.
Yo, Julius, were you happy when Tank laid him out though? Just at least say that. Were you happy?
No, because I knew it was gonna happen. What, we're gonna pretend like Leo Santa Cruz is someone of substance? I knew it was gonna happen. They're gonna look at Leo like the way that they tried to hype up Mikey after the Spence fight. And it's like, all right, yeah, you knocked out Leo. Congratulations. Are you gonna fight Loma now? Are you gonna fight anybody who's like that? We
Calvin Ford was talking that Loma talk. I said, yeah, nigga, stop it. Stop it. Please.
Yeah, Mexicans never supported Leo like the one supporting him after Tank knocked him out.
That dude is not from Mexico, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. Leo is not from Mexico, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. That I ain't never seen no Mexican fighter that the dude is talking shit to you. He gonna come up on your daddy, put his arm around, like, bro, just off of GP, just off of general, like, bro, who the fuck do you think you are, bro?
Bro, I'm coming to your crib. We go to Capitol, like, we're going, like, we shooting our hands on the street, bro. Like, I gotta fight you. Like, you really came from my manhood, B. Like, I might have to kill you.
Yo, you don't do no shit like that. Like, we ain't fighting in the boxing ring. I'm fighting your ass on the street, bro.
The fact that the dude, look, the week after that, they did an interview. This hoe was sitting on the couch. And you know, I fight who capable in front of me. Like, you fucking moron. You really gonna let people sit there and watch that shit? He put his I know his little ass ain't gonna do nothing to your daddy, but off of GP, like, what you trying to say? You trying to like call me some kind of bitch that you could come up with?
Like I'm pussy? Like I'm bad bitch. I'm unconscionable level of pussy? What? I got something for you.
You little like, motherfucker, we're not having that out of you, you little motherfucker. Like, the fuck? And that shit did not bother. That shit did not bother Leo. I'm like, yo, look, man, I don't know where that dude from. They say he from, but I don't believe he from down there. I don't. That motherfucker from, I don't know, B. He from Bolivia or some shit. I don't know, but he ain't. Nah, that dude is not.
He's from Uruguay. He's from Uruguay.
Bro, I'm just telling you, look, go to the average. I'm telling you right now, whether you on the East Coast or the West Coast, ask a Mexican motherfucker to fight and see if he don't fight. It don't gotta be no reason. Just ask.
No, New York Mexican niggas are wild, bro. They're stupid, bro. They're retarded, nigga. Like, no, they're not.
And y'all gonna get into that shit? I'm like, yo, so you telling me that this dude could drag your name in the mud for like 2-3 years. He'll come up on your daddy, and you still won't do nothing.
Nigga hugged his father, bro. He hugged his father. You could see his father was uncomfortable. Yo, Leo, you didn't snuff this nigga?
That's what I'm saying.
I can at least you just call your cartel buddies like, yo, do that for me. I would respect that if you did that. You even do that, bro. Come on, man.
And this is a business. This is a business where you literally get paid to
punch niggas in their face.
You get paid to do that, and you telling me when you think that you didn't feel nothing, like, yo, I gotta fuck it, like, yo, I don't care what Al talking about. Get Gary in the fucking ring, B. Get him in the ring. I don't care what Al. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, bro. Get that motherfucker in the ring. If you don't want to pay,
you think Nassim Hamed would allow somebody to hug his father like that?
That's what I mean. Yo, imagine somebody coming up on Chavez's father doing some, bruh.
Shit,
bruh.
Chavez Jr. may not be the best boxer in the world.
I'm not
but
talking
he ain't
about
letting
Junior.
that happen.
I'm not there. Wait. I ain't talking about Junior. I'm talking about Senior. Fuck
Imagine
Junior.
Senior would fucking do.
Bro,
the only people that ran up on Senior and robbed him was other Mexicans.
At gunpoint, though.
They didn't want the hands. They didn't want the hands at all. At all.
I'm like, nah, bro. Leo is not, and look, I know that it's a sensitive subject, but I'm just, Leo is not Mexican, bro. I don't know where he from, Uruguay or some shit. I don't know where he from. Like, bro, you're not Mexican.
Paraguay or some shit like that.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, any coast, any city in America, any city, right? Ask some Mexicans.
It can be Chicago Mexicans. It can be Texas Mexicans. It can be Cali Mexicans. New York. No, none of that happening.
Any city in America. I don't care which one. Chicago, New York, LA, Miami. Ask a Mexican motherfucker to fight and see if he don't gotta know why. Like, you want, all right, let's go. Motherfuckers don't care. Leo, he came up on your daddy. You ain't do nothing? And that was over.
Imagine if Gary would have kissed him on the face, like on some serious, like disrespect. Like, wow.
Yo, Gary should have licked his. Gary should have licked his fucking forehead. See if that don't make.
But Julius, don't Mexicans both?
Oh shit! That's crazy, my nigga.
One in Mexico view Mexican Americans type different.
He's not Mexican American.
Oh shit! I don't think he's from Mexico then.
How you think I said that? I'm like, he's not Chicano. He possibly from Mexico. I think I forgot where. And I'm like, yo, look, man, I don't care what city in America. Every Mexican motherfucker I ever met my whole goddamn life. If you tell that motherfucker to fight, what they gonna fight, bro? They don't need to know why. They really don't. They don't need to know why.
Even the most timid Mexican won't let you do that. But now, random point. You remember when someone in the panel brought up Pernell Whitaker versus Hurtado? Yo, what the fuck was the referee doing, my nigga? Letting that nigga get punched in shit like that over and over and over and over and over. That was bad, bro.
Hold up. Daniel says Leo is French. I ain't even gonna say Leo French because Johan Duapa is French and Tony Yoka French, and he was with the shits for the Hergovic fight. I'm telling you. Leo is like I think Leo probably was born over there, but that dude fuck around. His blood is from like Uruguay or some shit, bro. Like he not from over there, bro. Like, nah, you ain't from over there, my guy. Like,
because I can't say Argentina because niggas in Argentina are so about the shit.
Yeah, they with the shit, B.
So about the shit.
He from the
Carlos Monzo,
Cuban school, bro.
Nah, them niggas not soft. Nah, bro. We have Joel Casamayor, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Nah, bro. We can't say the Cuban school.
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
A two-time go. That's no.
Stop it.
Listen, we ain't even
the same Rigo that said he hurt his hand against Lomachenko and quit.
Listen, we
ain't even great, but
we ain't talking this boxing shit, bro. The dude came up on your daddy in front of everybody, and you really gonna let him do that? You really gonna let him do that? All right, then I know where you ain't from. I know what it says, but I know you ain't from over there.
Even Canelo when he got stepped to, when Lara stepped to him.
Bro, and Canelo was already getting money, but like, nah, chill. You're not gonna come up on me talking that shit. Like, you wilding. You're not gonna come up on
me. And Laura looked him in his eyes, bro. And Canelo said, what? In his eyes. Make this fight happy now.
Oscar, when Mayorga was talking all that shit, yo, I felt that shit. Like, Oscar, you really gonna let him talk to you like that? Motherfucking no. Y'all see how Oscar did that, man? Like, bro, all shit. Don't you wildin'. Telling you, ain't a motherfucking Mexican motherfucker in this country. You gonna ask him for a fight and he don't give you one. Only Leo Santa Cruz. In front of me. You fucking get this motherfucker out of here. The fuck? Get that motherfucker out of here, man. I never seen that like that in my life.
Julius, I was disgusted. But Julius, I was watching, on Twitter. There was like, old school highlights, Mayorga versus, Forrest. To this day, bro, there's certain boxing matches like, how the hell this nigga win? Like Vernon Forrest was nice, bro. And Mayorga found a way to beat him twice, bro. Like that shit is crazy.
Let me
there's certain people
hold on. Let me address Punch Smollett. I'm not disrespecting him. Gary disrespected him, bro. I'm in awe that Leo let him disrespect him. I'm not disrespecting shit. I ain't the one that came up on his daddy and gave him a hug. Fuck out of here. Don't put that shit on me. I'm just surprised. Like, bro, you sure he from Mexico? Nah, he ain't from Mexico.
But Julius, if you was boxing, I can imagine you doing some really
never mind me. The point is, right? I never seen nothing like that before. And I've been watching this sport too. I never seen like, bro, you really gonna let him come up on your daddy? And he's sick too. He's sick. Your daddy got, he's sick, bro. And you like, I never seen no shit like that before. That's all I'm saying.
If I was a modern day fighter, I would take the Roberto Duran route and go after a fighter's woman.
Bro, I honestly felt like Gary crossed the line doing what he doing, because by that time it was widely publicized that Leo's father was on chemotherapy, and you really gonna do that? Like, and that didn't hit a nerve with you at all? Like, just as a human, at least as a son, it didn't hit a nerve. I don't know what to say, bro.
And bro, like
I can tell you this.
Maybe it did. And Leo told Al he's never getting a fight.
I guess.
I can tell you this. I remember, last year when COVID was at the height of its BS, right? And I was at Costco with my father, right? And we were talking, and we were rolling the carts because it was a couple people coming in at a time to go into Costco, because that's how they was giving it up. And some old white dude out of nowhere just cut us, and I said, like, yo, Dad, what the fuck this nigga on? I will fuck this nigga up. Like, I was about to, I was pressing this dude. My dad said, stop. I don't want you going to jail. Like that. He cut us in line, and we've been on this line for like a good 30 minutes. But like, as a son, like my dad was born in the late 50s and everything, and he's getting on there in age. And as a son, the guy who cut us was probably in the 70s and everything. He was just on some real disrespect shit. And I don't fuck up elders. I don't get no points off of that. You respect the older folks. But like, I looked at that old man like, yo, if it wasn't for my pops, I would kill you. And this is just a little incident. But not to Gary running up on homeboy pops and hugging him like that. Like what?
Hey, Chris, you know what I would have done in that situation that you just described?
I was going to fuck him up.
Wait. I'd have told that guy, hey, sir, what's that? Look behind you. And when he did, I would have stepped right back in front.
No. If he would have turned around, he would have got hit with a two-piece. I would have laid him the fuck out. I would have been in jail.
Listen, let's put the Rambo shit away, because the point is, I'm just in awe that a professional pugilist, a prize fighter, would allow his contemporary to do that. I've never seen that before. Can somebody name me another instance where a motherfucker did that?
I can't.
I'm telling you, that's why I'm in awe. Like, yo, you really let him run up on your daddy? Wow, bro. I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say. And your daddy's sick too. They talk about it all the time.
That's why he's about to lose in 2 weeks.
They say Mexico City's the more affluent place, as opposed to Tijuana, where Morales is from. And Barrera was always on.
I'm just saying.
Even if you.
Yeah, I agree, Chris.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm just saying, man, like it's certain shit. But off of that shit, because like I said, I wouldn't bat an eyelash if Gary and Leo sailed off into the sunset with each other and they ship sank into the ocean. I wouldn't bat an eyelash. Like, please get them out. Just get them both out.
Let's not hype them on some Titanic shit. No.
Julius, could he be upset? Could he be upset on February 5th along with Keith?
I mean, Carbajal, like I haven't seen Carbajal, so I'm gonna look at him. But really, it's like, bro, am I really about to sit here and edge a Leo Santa Cruz fight? I don't care enough to do that. I don't.
Roman Gonzalez versus Julio Cesar Martinez. Who do you have winning?
Oh yes.
Yes. I wanted to come on and talk about that.
Roman gonna fuck him up, y'all.
Yeah, I got chocolate. I got Chocolatito all the way.
That Martinez dude can punch, bro. But like at the end of the day, he's just one wild motherfucker who just
won't be enough.
I know. But hey, I didn't think Srisaket Sorungvasai was going to beat this guy twice. Hey, we don't know, bro. So Sorungvasai can punch.
I got nervous for Chocolatito if he won the because I think the plan was if he beat we all know he won the Estrada rematch, but if he won then. He was gonna rematch Sorunga, so I got nervous. I'm like, oh shit, you gonna fight this guy a third time? He already beat you twice, bro.
Well, it's different with Saw. It's different with Saw because Saw's a huge puncher. He's a southpaw, whereas Caesar's
that right hook is mean, bro.
Oh god.
So because Caesar's young, like I think his power is actually gonna carry. That this has genuine banana skin energy. That like, yo, you might be fucking up taking this fight, Choco. You might be. I'm not gonna say he is. He might be because Caesar. You got to be a game motherfucker. You got to really believe in like Chocolatito. Yes, on short notice. Why not? That's
Jules,
some real shit.
Jules, y'all know who really wins out of this fight. Y'all know
fans.
Who wins? Thank you. There you go.
Yeah. The fans. But we going to like I said, we going to see because like I could see Caesar winning. I could see Julio winning, man. I'm just saying.
If he does,
Caesar has a shot. And I like he's taking the MMA approach. Short notice, big fight. Fuck it.
Why not? Yeah.
See, these
Jules,
little guys,
what do you
these
make
little
of
guys
all
are taking risks. These little guys, all the other guys in the weight class need to take more risks like this, man.
What do you make of all these boxing people getting involved in what UFC's paying their fighters? This shit makes no fucking sense to me.
They're weird.
I must say, look, man, this is the shit with the UFC shit, right? UFC is one promotion, right? It's not like it encompasses all of mixed martial arts. That's what Dana's paying his boys, and they sign on for that. I'm not one of these guys that plays everybody a violin after the fact. Your manager and your lawyer signed a contract. They revised the contract and then you signed it. That's the situation, bro. Now, if you don't like the deal, you don't take the deal. It's that simple. Francis Ngannou is in a place where he doesn't like what's being offered up to him. I understand that. Crossover into boxing. Simple. Because nothing in life is given. And what I see is that people want things to be given. I'm not knocking Francis. I know that as a boxer, he could get the purse he got on Saturday for bring-along fights. So crossover, bro. Fuck Dana. Fuck Dana, bro.
And then the thing is, people don't get Francis is not a draw like that though. He's not packing $10 million gates and getting 700,000-800,000 pay-per-view buys. He's a 300. He's a $5 to $8 million fighter. That's what he deserves.
Like I'm not knocking him for wanting more than what he's being offered, but when you want more, you have to go out there and get more. You can't keep coming to the same guy and expecting a better deal. I would prefer if Dana were more a little bit more generous, because I do think the guy deserves more. But at the end of the day, Dana didn't get to where he got to listening to Joe Blow. For what it's worth, Dana knows what he's doing, because Bellator is not what UFC is. K1 is not what UFC. They're very successful, so he knows what he's doing. My thing is, okay, Francis, if you don't like what he's offering you, get the fuck out of there, bro. You've reached that point. And I firmly believe if he crosses over into boxing, or for club fighters and domestic level guys, he will get the same as, if not bigger purses than what he got on Saturday.
He will. But this notion that Fury and Ngannou is going to do what McGregor Floyd did is fucking ludicrous.
Not the same, but it'll be successful.
It won't even come close to half of that.
It'll do a million. It'll do a million.
And then after that, Francis will be like, okay, I fucking Was that short-sighted for one boxing fight?
And
Okay.
maybe not 19 million at the, even though I could see them doing 19 million at the gate, to be completely honest. I could see them doing that. That's
No,
a very
a Vegas gate, they could do a Legion Stadium and get 30,000-40,000 in there.
Yeah, I mean, it could. In other words, it's not going to be as successful as Maymac, but it's very commercially successful. So if you know that, work it out. Work it out.
Hey, by the way, Jules, also, I got a subject I want to peruse right quick. The Ryan Farias fight.
Peruse. We got big words today. I love it.
I mean, she's gonna knock Farias out. That's my
that's my question. I was gonna ask, how do you see the fight going? And if
she's gonna knock her out,
when she stops, what do you see that doing for her profile?
Look, Farias has been in there with a lot of people. It's good and bad. On one end, you say that Sandy only has 3 fights, so her fighting someone like Erica is like wow, and it is like wow. But if she knocks her out, look at what she's coming from. You got beat by McCaskill 2 times, and you got beat by Mayer. So it's like if you get knocked out, it's not like people aren't going to notice that. Like you was in a loser's bracket for a while, you know what I mean? But I still think Sandy's the shit. Sandy's the shit, bro.
God, I love those body shots that she throws, man.
Yeah, she's gonna stop her. I believe she's gonna stop her. And after that, I don't know, because if you're ready for a Farias, technically you're ready for a title.
They're like you see her becoming a champ in less than like 10 fights.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, but it depends. If Chantel still has the belts, they might want to take their time because you're not knocking her out. Not Chantel. I love Chantel. You're not knocking her out.
I think she's gonna beat Callie Reese. I think she might. I'm sorry. I just got a feeling.
I'm a fan of both, so I don't want to.
I like them both too. I don't want
to weigh in on that. Let me read this super chat. If UFC fighters thought they could make a move in boxing, the shit would be flooded. They would all be journeymen. I agree with you, Saeed, but that's the only reason I brought it up is because Francis keeps saying it, that he doesn't want to retire from combat sports, having not boxed. And I believe, like, he could go in there and fight guys like Joey DeVaco, and he'd make a lot of money just because he's Francis Ngannou. He'd make a lot of money, especially, I think, for Francis, the best promotional outfit to get with is Top Rank. Vegas-based outfit that caters to an American audience. It's been the American audience that's been watching you on UFC, so you want to stick with that. And with that, if you were to sign to a Top Rank, you could get $600,000 out the gate. You could get that kind of purse.
They could like promote him like a novelty act. So,
like Nico Ali Walsh.
That's exactly who I was thinking.
Like Nico Ali, the legend. The legend lives. Like, man, shit. Like, Ngannou can get money, bro. He can get a lot of money.
I thought they're racially biased, though.
Yeah, no. I'm letting that case. When that case starts, I'll get back to it. But right now, I'm not interested in it because I don't hear nothing. We haven't heard nothing new about the case. So let the fucking case starts. And like I've been saying, if he has some kind of evidence that he can present that constitutes what he's saying, just bring it forward. That's all, because that's what court is for. Bring it, show and prove. Otherwise, it's going to sound like you was on some snake shit. You or your lawyer.
Jules, if he had real evidence, ESPN would be named in that fucking lawsuit too.
I agree with that. Or at least there's a high probability that they would be in that lawsuit if he had real evidence.
Julius, you and Beats' argument last week was hilarious. It was hilarious because I like both of you guys' channels. I like both of you guys' channels, but I could break down that argument so easy. Your argument is Terrence Crawford doesn't look like he has any proof, and Beats' argument was, well, if he's gonna bring up this lawsuit, he must have some proof.
All right, that's not my argument. My argument is if you have proof, show it. Because what you're saying, your introduction to your complaint, that sounds really shoddy. And your introduction, in other words, my gripe with, not even a gripe, my observation is you kind of painted yourself into a corner with that introduction and what it alleges. You shouldn't have done that because now you may have to prove what you're alleging. And if you can't countersuit, you're defaming my character in front of a lot of people. This is a widely publicized court case that paints me out to be a bigot. Either you prove it or I'm suing you for defamation. That is the issue that I had. And it's not an issue. It's an observation, really. It's an
Julius,
observation.
I came to that same observation too, because if Terrence Crawford, what it just said, Terrence Crawford is suing Bob Arum for breach of contract, boom, that's it. But
That's it.
now you put the racial element, everybody has to understand this. In law, there's two types of thresholds to get you a verdict. In civil law, it's a preponderance of evidence. In criminal law, it's a beyond a reasonable doubt. So if you don't have the preponderance of
Bruce, I think
evidence
goes
to
with
get
Bruce
that,
Wayne and Beats. They have the same thing. They think, oh, we're talking about Bob Arum here. We're talking about Bob Arum. Don't you know? He's racist. Don't you know?
Listen,
where's the evidence?
let me say this, right? Their evidence of Bob's let me champ this shit. Nobody say nothing. You telling me that you feel that Loma got preferential treatment, because that's the name that I keep seeing other people bring up. That, oh, he likes Loma better than he likes Crawford. He likes Loma. Is that a crime?
No.
Is that a crime? Like, all right, no. I'm gonna ask you a question. Has he lost on Loma what he's losing on Bud?
No.
So maybe maybe the reason that he might like him a little better, maybe, is because he's not costing him as much money. Maybe. It's open to interpretation, and that's the point that I've made throughout. Every example that I'm being given, because I'm only going over the examples that are given, I don't know what Crawford's going to present. That's why I'm looking forward to the case. But based on the examples that I'm being given, this is not a preponderance of evidence of a racial bias. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Literally, it's not. Oh, because he likes Loma? Should he not like Loma? Is that a crime? Oh, because he likes Fury. Well, Fury and Wilder just did a $19 million gate. Call me crazy.
Can you prove it?
Think that has something to do with it?
How much was the gate for the third fight? Anybody know?
17.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's not complicated.
Probably Lomachenko is not costing him anything. He's putting them on free.
I'm with George. Bob Arum is not a saint. How could he be? He's been in boxing for 50 years. If you believe he's a saint, you're a moron. He can't be a saint. And maybe, I'll go as far as entertaining, that maybe behind closed doors, he said words that I would not use. Yeah, maybe he has. But what does that have to do with what you're alleging? You're alleging that you weren't promoted properly based on his racial bias. And from what I can see, there's not that much evidence of that, because you make more than 95% of the stable. The only guy in the stable that top rank pays more than you is Tyson Fury.
Julius, we have said some stuff what we're not meant to. None of us are saints. But when it comes to Crawford, he's the highest paid in Top Rank. He's been I think on pay-per-view 2 or 3 times. So I don't see how was he biased towards him.
And that is why I want
got him all the fights. It's not his fault. It's like we always say, it's the PBCs, Al Heyman, Spence, your so-called own people didn't give you the fight.
That's why I'm looking forward to the case. If he has evidence, then great, bring it forward, and that will shed light on the situation. And if he has evidence of a racial bias, right? Do you think I would argue in favor of Bob? No, you're a fucking bigot. You're a racist. If you show me that there's evidence of this. Now, if you don't show me that there's evidence of this, if you fail, I'm going to look at you as a slime ball and an opportunist. Period. Show and prove. Period. I'm not gonna support a fucking racist. What the fuck makes you think I'd support? No, bro. Of course not. But if you don't have evidence, right? If you can't prove what you're saying, then I can't assume that he's what you say is, because you're the one that failed. You made the accusation. You have to prove it.
You can't play like that, bro. You cannot play like that. This is not social media. This is somebody's character, and this guy's a very reputable guy that has connections in very high places. This guy's connected to the Kennedys. This is not somebody you play with at all.
Julius, there's another point I didn't like about Beats. Well, Beats is mentioned, and when Al Heyman came into the game, they tried to shut him out. They tried to do this. Didn't they do that to Eddie Hearn when he came to USA? Didn't they do that to him when he came to America? Aren't they doing it with Triller? Yeah.
And I
so
talked.
What makes it so different?
And when
Just
I
because
talk
you're black,
about it,
does it mean you get preferences now?
and this is what I'll say, right? Boxing is a boys' club. When Triller was found in default by the IBF, Ryan Kavanaugh started crying about, "You're not going to shut us out. Boxing is a boys' club, and we're not going to." It's hazing, bro. It's the same hazing that Triller went through. It's the same hazing in America that Eddie Hearn is still going through. You know, they do it to any new kid on the block is going to go through that with the established outfits. At that time, when the PBC first emerged as a company, Top Rank, Golden Boy Promotions, they were the established outfits. So you're going to go through that. You know what I mean? Like
That's just dealing with the barriers of entry.
Yeah.
Basically, oh, Julius, I was going to say this, though. To Beats' points, Beats said, hey, at one point in time, Rudolph Sabatini and Bob Arum kept the middleweight championship out of America for 9 years, 70 to 79. Then and a lot of black Philly fighters didn't get their title shots. At the end of the day, if I'm Bob Arum and if I'm not promoting any of them, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, because at the end of the day, them Philly fighters could have done what Marvin Hagler did, is scrounge up some politicians and get into Bob Arum's inner workings of his company. They didn't. So I think
I would say this, right? Whether he did or didn't do what Beats alleges way back when in the early 80s, early 70s, so on and so forth, right? That has absolutely nothing to do with what Terrence Crawford is alleging. What you have to prove,
it has to be case specific.
Yeah, what you have to prove is that you were not promoted properly on the premise of a racial bias. That's what you have to prove. You have to prove that they are in breach of the contract, and that connects to the racial bias you allege. That's what you have to prove. We're not here to talk about Ray, unless Ray Mercer is going to come in and testify. Though I stated, even if he does, that's not a smoking gun. That's his version of a story. What's Bob's?
And
you can't.
Terrence has to bring his version of that story. Terrence has to have something on Bob akin to what Donald Sterling said about Magic Johnson and a whole bunch of things.
Exactly.
He has to have something like that. I love Terrence Crawford as a fighter, bro, and I have people close to Terrence Crawford. But I ain't gonna hold you. If it comes out to this being a snake move, I'm gonna look at Terrence different. I have to, because on some real talk, yo, if you didn't sue the LDBC, you didn't sue Al Heyman, you didn't sue all the people that turned your back on you and was tribal with you, I can't respect it, because at the end of the day, you saw the headlines, you saw the people who were for you, and you saw the people against you. You didn't sue the people against you for libel, like how Cardi B sued Tasha K for libel, right? Because if you really look at it, these were all libelous claims that the LDBC, 78 Sports, Black Fight Fan TV, even Blue Bloods. These were all slanderous and libelous acts against somebody's work, and he didn't sue them. But now let's go to a deeper thing. A lot of the thing is he wants probably validation from them, because he's more like them than he is like Bob. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but
that's
see, let me say this. That mentality keeps motherfuckers in a box, bro. I'm not like, this is my thing, right? If you doing all this, and I don't know that he's doing that, by the way. That's just how his actions are being interpreted. I don't know that that's why he's doing it.
Yeah, I should have said allegedly. Allegedly, my bad.
But what I'm gonna say is, ultimately, at that level, the only color that matters is green, and as long as you understand that, it'll keep you out of a lot of shit. The reason you didn't get to be as big a pay-per-view star as you wanted to is because you didn't get to have the fights. That's the no frills, mundane, no bells and whistles explanation. Now you imagine if in 2018, when Terrence Crawford beat Jeff Horn and Jose Benavidez or whatever, if he would have moved into a Thurman fight, imagine what that could have done for him. If he would have had a Danny Garcia fight, imagine what that could have done for him. If he would have had that Sean Porter fight then instead of last year, those were all fights that would have amplified his marquee value. But we know why you didn't have those fights. Those guys didn't want to fight you. That's Bob's fault?
That's Bob's fault?
It's a simple matter.
It all goes back to Crawford has to prove how was Bob Arum racially biased towards Terrence Crawford Not Ray Mercer, not the
It's
middleweight division.
Terrence Crawford.
And it's not, to me, once again, when it comes to that, you either have the evidence or you don't. Telling me about, like Ray Mercer said, and I take it into account because Ray Mercer doesn't strike me, and I'm a very good judge of character, but he doesn't strike me as a man who would lie about something like that. What he can...
And Ray Mercer don't talk to niggas? Who would he be talking to?
Now, what I'm going to say is that's Ray's interpretation of what happened. Just because he's not lying, that doesn't mean that he might not be off base. There's a lot of ways things could break down. I honestly believe that that's what Bob told him because that's the no frills explanation. Like that's, bro, Tommy was the dude, bro. If you was watching boxing at that time, yeah, they was grooming him, man. They wanted him to be the next.
HBO wanted him so bad.
Yes,
so bad.
like, bro, they wanted him to be like the next Marciano or some shit, bro. They was all in with Tommy till Ray fucked his whole face up.
Was that
and
Ray?
Tommy was a good fighter, bro.
Was that after the Rocky movie?
I don't know if I still don't know if that was after the Rocky. I gotta check that. I do have to check that because I find it hard to imagine y'all casting him after he got his ass beat like that. He got. I was watching that shit for years.
It was before it came out in '90. Before Mercer after that.
All right. Wait. So he got fucked up by Mercer before or after the Rocky movie?
It was after the Rocky movie. It was after.
There you go. Like, bro, this is what I mean. Like, bro, he was in Rocky, bro. Yeah, they were grooming him. I remember, man. And I kept looking at him like, yo, I don't like his hair. He looked like he in the WWF. He looked like he Hulk Hogan little brother because he had a mullet. Because y'all remember Tommy had a mullet?
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
My
thing is with Tommy. If he didn't have a bad chin, that guy actually could fight, man. I actually seen this guy.
Fighter.
Oh, he was a good fighter, man.
Good. Yeah.
But if he didn't have such a piss poor chin, bro,
just couldn't take a punch for shit.
Yeah,
well,
the other thing. No. But the other thing I'm gonna say is this. The other thing I'm gonna say is this. It's Ray Mercer, bro. Is it that Tommy's chin is glass, or is it that Ray's a bad motherfucker?
I don't seen Ray do that to. He slept dudes standing up. He told the referee to come in, and the referee didn't do anything. They do with an uppercut, went straight through the ropes. I said, God damn.
Because I'm gonna say this. Michael Mora fought an old foreman. Tommy Morrison fought an old foreman. But only one of them ended up on their back pocket, and it wasn't Tommy. So I'm like, is it that Tommy has a bad chin, or is it just that Ray's a bad dude, bro? He came into that fight. I'm going to
Tommy moved against Foreman. Guys, Tommy did move against Foreman.
Guys, he got knocked out by Michael Benton around. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Come on.
I was just trying to play devil's advocate, B. Chill out. I was trying to play devil's advocate.
But Mike, did you not see how Michael Benton hit that dude? Like the first right hand he landed on homeboy sounded like a bat. Like, damn, he really hit the shit out this motherfucker. Then he got up and boop, 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 dropped him again. Got up, boop, 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 and got him out of there.
Now he lost to Rocky in the parking lot behind a bar, B. Like, motherfucker can't take a punch.
Hell, old ass Ray Mercer knocked out Tim Sylvia with MMA gloves.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not getting touched by Ray. No, Ray punched way too.
Ray will knock a motherfucker out now, bro. Ray will knock a motherfucker out now.
Yeah, fun fact. My pops was in the Navy, right? And he knew an amateur boxer was in the Navy with him, and he fought Ray Mercer. Didn't go well. He got knocked out, but still, at least he.
Ray is a bad dude. Like Ray is a call into my childhood. That's why I got a sweet spot for Ray. No homo, but I got a sweet spot. Like Ray remind me of my childhood. That was one of my favorite fighters. That was not a glamour fighter. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like he was never. He
was not pretty. He wasn't pretty. He was going to really hurt you. People weren't going to gravitate behind him because they were scared.
More like you didn't think of Ray in the context of the golden boy of a division. You understand what I mean? Like Ray was just a dude. He was grimy. He's gonna fuck you up, bro.
He was a back alley nigga.
Y'all know my favorite fight with Ray is the Burt Cooper fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight. That was a nightmare fight. Nightmare fight.
I don't know how Ray Mercer really still has his faculties, bro, because the Burt Cooper fight, the Lennox Lewis fight was a war. That was bad. That was really bad. Like,
he got a neck injury that he had to have surgery on, I believe.
Yeah, he got I ain't gonna hold you. And later on in his career, he got fucked up by Vladimir Klitschko. And let me bring this up. Young Vladimir Klitschko was really hurting niggas, and people don't give him the respect and credit due. Sure, a lot of them older dudes, and some of them weren't heralded, but they were in the top 10 because at the end of the day, that was the competition around that time. Yeah, but young Vlad was a foul nigga, B. Like, had it not been for Corey Sanders, Jesus.
Yeah, Vlad was Ross Purity beat him. He gave him his first loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the journeyman.
but that was like 11th round, and he punched himself out. The Corey Sanders fight really changed him. He really changed him. But like, young Vlad was I was watching that. I was like, God damn, nigga, like.
I mean, look. Young Vlad was a bad dude, but he had to change some things. Ultimately, like I said, when it comes to Crawford, just show and prove, bro. That's what court is for. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to assume he guilty just because Bud said it. No, that's not how it works. I had a motherfucker try to tell me some shit just because I think Jermall sucks. No, I'm not. Nah, I'm not going. Fuck out of here, B. What you want me to say, that I'd pick him to beat Canelo? Fuck out of here.
Gotta hope he gets the Canelo fight next. I really do.
I hope he get that shit too.
So niggas to shut the fuck up, bro. But Julius, I gotta ask you a question. A pound for pound, who hits harder, Julian Jackson or Mike Tyson?
Oh wow.
Wow. I say JJ because that nigga used to sleep niggas.
Yeah, but it's like every time Julian hits somebody, it's like they got shot in the head and they just dropped to the floor.
See, that's the thing. This is the thing. A conversation like that about pound for pound, who hits harder. You got to look at the quality of competition because that's really the only way to measure it. You know what I mean? Like Julian got a lot of knockouts, but we can make an argument that Shannon Briggs is one of the pound for pound biggest punches in the sport. He holds the record for the most first round knockouts.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. But I'm talking. Right. But like, look at it like this: how many people were knocking out Harold Graham like that? No, Sumbu Kalambe couldn't knock Harold Graham out.
How many champions did Julian Jackson knock out?
Fuck. Just one? Is it just one?
Mike knocked out about, I think, unless I'm mistaken, about 3 or 4. We know what he did to Trevor Berbick. We know what he did to Bruce Seldon. We know what he did to Frank.
But Bruce Seldon's kind of sketchy. But like, but hey, it goes down as a knockout. But the reason why I say Julian Jackson, like going back to what AJ said, the way he was knocking people out, like, bro, that was cartoonish. Some of the knockouts.
I mean, bro, it's like he literally is whenever he landed a punch, it's like literally he'd be freezing motherfuckers in time.
Yeah, bro, he knocked out Terry Norris, bro.
For style points, you might want to give it to JJ. Style points, they're like, but I'm like, ultimately, if I see, like, for example, let's say motherfucking Hrgovic go in there with Tony Yoka, right? And let's say on the off chance Tony Yoka sleep this dude, I'm gonna have to be like, Tony hit hard, bro. He slept Hrgovic. You know what I mean? That's the context that I look like, who did you knock out and who were they when you knocked them out? Because a lot of guys got a lot of knockouts, bro. Vladimir,
are we talking about like champions in general that JJ knocked out, or just because Turner he wasn't a reigning champion, but he became one later.
Vladimir, Terry Norris was winning that fight easily until he got slapped, bro.
Oh, he only went 2 rounds. That's it. I mean, but he was getting schooled.
But he was for the majority of that fight, he was winning, outclassing him. Yep. Julian Jackson was hitting air, then boom, that right hook came. Same thing with
Harold Graham. He was Graham was schooling him for like the first 3 to 4 rounds.
Let me give you an example. Vladimir Klitschko, he has 53 knockouts, right? He doesn't get talked about in that Joe Louis, that Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, George. He doesn't get talked about in that context, even though he has more knockouts than Joe Frazier has fights. It's 53 knockouts, right?
Yep.
But the accumulation of knockouts alone is not enough to get him in that conversation. Like you got 53 and that's the magic number. Nah, it really ain't like that. Now, when I think of Mike, you got style points. Motherfuckers look like they got shot. When Micah hit him with some shit, they look like they got shot.
Henry Tillman, he hit him with an overhand right, bro.
Bone Crusher Smith. He looked like bro, like he knocked his ass. I don't know if he knocked him
Francois
down.
Francois Botha, Clifford Etienne. Like he got some nasty knockouts.
Got some nasty knockouts, right? Marvis Frazier in the early days, bro. He did Marvis dirty in the early days.
But at the end of
he ruined his career.
But at the end of the day, we look at it like that. Like we look at it like that. Like some can say Marvis Frazier was a nobody, but like at the end of the day, if you look at the Wayne Powell knockout of by Julian Jackson, what's the difference? Wayne Powell was technically a nobody, and Marvis Frazier was technically a nobody too.
But
don't you think?
Now, what did I say? When I look at Mike, right? I know Mike. They wasn't the greatest champions. I'm not saying that, but I'm like, okay, the JJ's power. How many champions did he stop? Because I know Mike stopped at least three. Berbick, Selden, and Bruno. How many champions did JJ stop?
One.
Norris. Who else?
Was it Chung Ho Beck? Did he become a champ too?
Buster Mathis. Buster Drayton. Buster Drayton.
Yeah, Drayton. Yeah. So was that two or three?
Yeah, he slept Drayton.
The greatness of Tyson, I think we never seen, and I still don't think we've seen a heavyweight that athletic.
Man, that shit was scary, bro. Like
with the mixture of and name me a heavyweight that's as fundamentally sound as Tyson was schooled.
Can I say this? I had Mike Tyson's Punch Out when I was a kid, bro. Right, and this dude, that kind of presence, you don't see it today, right? Because it was to the point where I was fucking scared at home playing a video game to fight this motherfucker. Or a
nastily pixelated game too. It was disgustingly pixelated compared to the graphics now.
To this day, I have not beaten Mike Tyson in Punch Out. I beat the Sandman though. They had the knockoff version of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Same characters except for the final boss. You got to fight Sandman.
Julius.
Go ahead.
That means you have to be close to 40 because everybody I know that's close to 40 talks about how hard it was to beat Mike Tyson.
Yes, bro. It was. Yes, I'm close to fucking 40. It was fucking hard, bro. I was nervous in my house, B. Like, I really gotta fight Mike Tyson. It felt like that. That's the kind of aura that he had in real life. Like, I gotta fight Mike Tyson, B. Chill, B. I never beat that game, B. I never beat that. Only with the Sandman.
Yo, look, it's crazy, bro. Mike Tyson, my height. Like, I'm 5'10" and a half. Mike's like 5'10" and a half. That's the only 5'10" and a half dude that threatened to that told the reporter after a rape charge, no less, are you speaking out of term? And he's the level of scaredness, bro. Like, he threatened to sodomize a man, and no one said pause. Like, the level of aura that dude had is scary, B. Scary.
What do you say? Talking about I only do interviews with women unless I fornicate with them.
Yo, bro, are you speaking out of term, white bitch? You not understand how crazy that is?
So if you don't want to, then you should.
Bro, he's a wild dude. Let me read the super chats because they piling up. Shout out to Gunner Forever. Buenos dias, IQ. Love the show. Saludos from East LA. Shout out to you, Gunner. James Jackson. Old Holmes did beat Mercer. He did right after the Morrison fight. Right. He did, but that's Larry motherfucking Holmes though. Like let's that's Larry Holmes, bro.
That's LH, B. LH. Stop playing with that man.
That's the Eastern Assassin, B. Chill. New
the
Country
best jab
says,
ever.
I don't care what y'all say. Nobody ever carried a live cow on his shoulders as part of their training regimen except Big Joe. That's true. That's true.
I'm running up on that man today. I'll leave that man alone.
Now let me say this. No, yeah, he really did do that shit. I'm gonna say this. I think George was a more concussive puncher than Mike. I do believe that. They're like, if we're talking about who hit harder just when they land, I do feel George was stronger than Mike and he landed harder than Mike, but he wasn't nowhere near as fast. So it's like a trade-off, feel me? But I do feel, George was a way bigger puncher than Mike.
George, imagine if George had precision, like accuracy and fundamentals. He would just
speed.
Watch the Chuvalo fight. Watch the Chuvalo fight, B. He jabbed the shit out of Chuvalo.
I mean, like,
was that Chuvalo or Jerry Cooney? No, that was
look
Chuvalo.
At how he knocked out Moore. That wasn't no fucking like pinpoint. Like that was just a shot and fucking decked this fucking young kid.
he measured the shot though, because he landed the right hand before he landed two big right hands and he set it up and he said it himself like, all right, I'm gonna shoot it a little lower the next time. And the next time he shot it, he fucking dropped Mora, bro.
I just
But
think
look what he did to set up though. He threw a wide hook to keep Mora in line, and he threw that one too high. Then he threw that one too low.
It's one of those genetics things. It's genetics too, though. Like he must have fucking vibranium in his fucking fists.
Bro, he's a strong.
He has heavy fucking fists, like hands. That country strength.
I would say that
Sonny West. I'm sorry about that. Do what you think.
I would say pound for pound biggest punches. You got to talk about George before we even get to Julian. Like Julian is a big puncher, yeah, but to me, if we start talking about who are the biggest punchers pound for pound, I would say I gotta stick with the heavyweights, man. Imagine Liston landing a jab once, bro. He'll break their face, bro.
You mean
they said getting hit by a jab by Liston was like getting hit by a pole. Did y'all not see Chuck Wepner face? Mind you, this is after he got embarrassed by Ali and this guy on the comeback trail. And this is the fight after he got knocked out cold by Leotis Martin. And look at Chuck Wepner's face. Chuck Wepner looked like he got
category. We finally got a category we can add Wilder to, fellas.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean because it come back to the quality of competition argument. Like for example, right? Most people don't think of Wilder most people don't think of Shannon Briggs as being a bigger puncher than Wilder, but it is a matter of fact that Shannon Briggs has more first round knockouts over the same quality of competition as Wilder, by the way. But he has more first round knockouts than Wilder, with no Harold Sconiers in there.
You know what Shannon Briggs' motto is? Life is too short. Swing on them today. You heard?
Let's go, champ.
How about by the way, y'all know what Lennox Lewis said about Briggs? He said Briggs was the biggest puncher he ever faced.
I still don't see anything funnier than Briggs making fucking Vlad fall in the water and running up Tom Vlad in the fucking restaurant.
That's what I.
Wherever you go,
comedy, yo.
This is more or less
Briggs in person. Like his hands feel like fucking rocks.
That's what I mean. That most people think of Wilder as being this. Like I don't view Wilder in like. If I'm being honest, I don't view Wilder in the Joe Louis, Sonny Liston. I don't put him in there. To me, he's more Briggs, Tommy Morrison, big puncher. Like yeah, you a big puncher. You definitely one of the bigger punchers of your generation, but you're not a generational big puncher. Like I could wholeheartedly say in my heart of hearts, if George Foreman landed on Wilder, he'd turn into sand, bro. He will turn into fucking sand. Period.
Where would you rank Artie Shavers among the punchers?
Well, Ernie's reputation is fleeting as a puncher. I know that Ernie has that reputation largely in part because of what people said. You know what I mean? Because of what people said about his power, like what Ali said about his power. But I still think of George as being a bigger puncher than Ernie. I do.
Yeah. Shame they never fought. That'd have been a good fight.
What about Dr. Steelhammer?
Dr. Steelhammer would rank in above a Briggs. I don't think of.
What about Ronnie Lyle?
He's a bit but he's a big puncher. Ron Lau, motherfucking Jimmy Young. They're big punches, bro.
Jimmy Young wasn't a puncher. Jimmy Young was a boxer, more of a boxer like that.
But Ron Lau, boy, didn't he fucking floor Foreman though?
He did.
You can floor anybody, Julius. You can floor anybody, bro. I'm talking about punches that really knock.
When Foreman came back, who floored him, bro?
Jimmy.
Yeah, who floored him, bro? But Jimmy Young could say, or could have said, God bless the dead, because I think he passed away. Yo, I floored a prime George Foreman, bro.
I'm not gonna say anything to Jimmy Young. I think jab my head off.
I think he's one of the only three fighters to drop Foreman. It was Ali, Foreman, and Young. Ali, Loud, and Young. Sorry, yeah, those three.
Yeah, nobody dropped him when he came back.
Nope, there was a statue when he came back.
Dude was a motherfucker.
Yo, but did y'all see the Alex Stewart fight? Alex Stewart beat the shit out of him, bro. Yeah. He beat the shit out of him. Like I watched that fight on a whim because I'm a weirdo. No.
Holyfield hit him with everything. No shit. Couldn't even put a dent in his ass.
But yo, Alex Smith closed both of George Foreman's eyes up and like that. He beat the shit out of him. And mind you, George Foreman dropped him like twice. I was like, damn, like how the fuck this happened?
I dig it. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go eat lunch, gentlemen. Always a pleasure.
All right, yo.
Peace.
All right, gentlemen.
Appreciate you having me on. All right.
Peace out.